Okay, on my way back from the work I was doing up in Fort Davis, and you see the Davis Mountains out there, but I'm reminded of something that happened back in like 1983, 1984. I was working for a company, I believe it was Digicon Geophysical, out in the Bering Sea, which is in between Alaska and Russia up there. It's very cold. One of the coldest summers I ever had. The clouds never break in the Bering Sea all summer long. You might get a few rays of sunshine, but we'd go out on this big seismic ship, and we were out on the Digicon Explorer, as I recall, and we'd work recording seismic lines, blowing up compressed air guns, and recording seismic data. That's how you find oil and gas. That's a whole nother long story, but where we would go to port is in Dutch Harbor in the Aleutian Islands, and so we had been out in the Bering Sea for 2 or 3 weeks, and when we finally got to port, we did what all good oil field people do. They head for the bar, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, but being Alaska in the summertime, it's broad daylight outside, and so we all hop in a couple of pickup trucks. There's about 30 of us, and we go into this bar, and this bar is just cranking at 1 or 2 in the morning. There are fishermen, and there are oil field workers, and there's bandits and people bearing firearms and big knives, and this place has like a spittoon, on every corner of the bar, and people are spitting into these spittoons and throwing their cigarettes in there, and I mean, it's a rough and tumble bar, man. You found some real Klondike cats in this place, man, I'm telling you. And so, I bop in there in my my blue jeans and tennis shoes, and I look like a college kid working the summer, in Alaska, and so I get me a beer, and I wander around in the bar back by the pool tables, and there's a kid in there that looks like me. He looks to be in his 20s, and he's got a pair of jeans and tennis shoes and a button-down shirt on, so I go over and say hi to him, and I sit down, we start having a conversation. This guy's from Portland, Oregon, and here we are in the middle of the Aleutian Islands, okay, and this guy's from Portland, Oregon. We get to talking, and the only person that I've ever known from Portland, Oregon is my ex-girlfriend, Jill Kramer. And I knew her at a boarding school in Tucson, Arizona called the Finster School. And so I tell this guy, this perfect stranger, that, the only person I knew was Jill Kramer. And he instantly becomes curious. Jill Kramer, you say she's from Portland? I said, no, she moved to Portland, but she's from Seattle. And no, she's from Tacoma, Washington. And he said, really? Tacoma, really? What, did you know her parents? Did you know what they do? I said, no, I didn't know her parents, but her dad was a doctor. And he said, no, what kind of doctor was he? General, medicine? He said, I said, no. He was, as I recall, Jill said he was a gynecologist, obstetrician, something like that. And the guy was really, and he kept asking all these questions. Finally, I was like, "What? Do you know her?" And he goes, "She's my current girlfriend." What really clinched it was I told him that she had moved to Portland, Oregon, and joined Scientology, And that's what piqued his interest, and that's what made him start asking me all the questions. But I mean, here we are in arguably one of the most remote corners of this planet. I walk into a bar, meet a random stranger, and we both had the same girlfriend, you know? It is a small world, brother.